Now to a CBS News exclusive, the Trump administration is cracking down on immigration lawyers suspected of improperly filing asylum claims for their clients. In a memo dated today, the top lawyer for the Homeland Security Department calls on ICE lawyers to increase enforcement, writing, quote, "For many years, millions of illegal aliens have committed fraud on our immigration system." CBS News Homeland Security correspondent Nicole Sganga breaks this story down for us. So this crackdown targets lawyers specifically. Why?
Yeah, DHS is really framing lawyers as the gatekeepers of the asylum system. ICE attorneys have been directed to pursue what are called administrative fraud cases against immigration lawyers accused of filing false asylum claims. And the statute that DHS is actually relying on here targets not only forged documents, but anyone who knowingly prepares files or helps file what is called a falsified immigration benefit application. Then there's the White House's role in this, because President Trump issued a March 2025 memo accusing parts of the immigration bar and some pro bono attorneys of coaching clients to lie when applying for asylum. So this is an extension of a wider effort by the administration to specifically target immigration attorneys.
How common is asylum-related fraud, and what are the possible punishments?
Yeah, there's really no reliable public reporting on asylum fraud across the whole system. We know isolated organized asylum fraud schemes do happen. Prosecutors have brought serious cases forward, recent cases in New York, attorneys who pled guilty to a fraud scheme back in 2023, a Florida imposter attorney that was sentenced to more than 20 years in 2021. But a 2015 GAO report found that between fiscal years 2010 and 2014, asylum claims that were terminated by USCIS because of fraud actually fell from about 103 to 34. So just for comparison, Lindsay, the agency granted more than 76,000 asylum claims during that time. So really 0.5% here. Possible punishments include cease and desist orders, fines up to $5,000 per fraudulent document as a first offense, and then close to $12,000 for subsequent. A fraud finding could also be referred to disciplinary authorities. It could lead to expulsion before immigration courts, and in more serious cases, prosecutors can pursue criminal charges. But I do want to make it clear, denied asylum claims are not fraud. Asylum claims can fail because the applicant lacks evidence, misses deadlines, or doesn't meet the legal standard. That doesn't make them fraudulent.
Before you go, you also have new reporting about that shooting near the White House over the weekend. What have you learned?
Yeah, we have learned that the alleged gunman in this incident, Nasir Best, who, as we know, was later declared dead at the hospital, obtained that handgun, that revolver. It was a specialized weapon illegally on the streets of Baltimore, and ATF investigators have even traced it back to a purchase back in Ohio. But we do know that that was illegally obtained. We also have learned that 5 to 6 U.S. Secret Service officers did return fire during that incident. This is a very large investigative scene. In fact, they are still processing the ballistics, so still trying to determine an exact number of shots fired. But, Lindsay, this was the third incident where Secret Service returned fire over the course of a month. And I've been speaking with agents and Secret Service officials all day about, have we ever seen this before? And one source told me, well, I can't remember a time when Secret Service returned fire 3 times over the course of a year, let alone a month. So definitely pointing to the threat environment and where we are at right now.
Nicole Sganga, thank you.
Thank you.